Did you actually think I was crazy enough to spend countless hours of the time I have to read every Wimpy Kid book and watch every Wimpy Kid movie? If you thought I was about to sit here and make some stupid video about the Wimpy Kid series, then you're absolutely right. Oh yeah, major spoilers ahead. I'm really about to rate every single Wimpy Kid book. Alright, before we do this, let's set some ground rules. So on the tier list I have here is every book, but there are some books here that don't actually count. Rowley Adventures and Rowley Spooky Stories and also the Do-It-Yourself books would actually count as real books. Well, the Rowley books do count, I'm just too lazy to actually read them. Anyways, without further ado, let's begin in Diary of Wimpy Kid Book 1. So, Diary of Wimpy Kid is probably one of the best books in here by default. I mean, this is the book that literally started it all. That's not to say it's the best book, though.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
I do still think that this book is one of my favorites because of how I grew up reading this book and how I grew up watching the movies. But rereading it, I was kind of underwhelmed. The main factor as to why this book ranks so high is because it's the original book that Jeff Kinney wrote, so I kinda have to put it here. Everyone's probably going to get mad at me, but I don't think this is the best book out of the series. In my defense, I do think it's a little bland at first. I'm not even saying this book sucks, I'm just saying that Jeff's writing has evolved so much that this book doesn't barely compare to the other books. In terms of story, this might rank low, but because it's the original, of course I have to give it praise. Without the book, we wouldn't have the series, and that gives this book an S tier. Alright, so Roderick Rules. Roderick Rules is a great book. I really like it because it's a book focused around Roderick. And Roderick is probably my favorite character out of the whole series. He's relatable, funny, and most of all, he's actually normal. Come to think of it, everyone else in the family is just going cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. A lot of what happened in this book also happened in the movie, but the book has a lot to offer as well. The book also has the absolute classic story of Roderick performing in a school talent show while his mom danced and took all the attention from him. It was great in the book, but it's also great in the movie. This book also feels really fresh with everything that happens, and best of all, it's one of the funniest Wimpy Kid books I've ever read. Everything about this book is great, therefore it's gonna get an S tier. Book 3, The Last Straw. Alright, The Last Straw is one of my favorite books in the whole series. It might not be as good as some other books like Roderick Rules or The Meltdown, but it's definitely a book that's very nostalgic to me. I also think that this book is better than Cabin Fever by a bit. A lot of the book focuses